Yeah.
Oh, are we recording right now?
We are recording.
Oh,
Hey.
was this a thing?
So this is surprise ambush edition of Between Two Phones.
This is Between Two Phones.
Yeah, where we interrogate someone incessantly for no longer than 4 minutes.
Well, the intro's 4.
Well, that's just for you to introduce yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Then we'll go into detail.
So we have... Who do we have here today, Eric?
We have my good friend, JP Boteo, who is one of our ZCX specialists. And you actually just did a really cool webinar introducing a really cool new feature we had, right?
We did, yes. We actually just yesterday morning, we delivered a webinar on our new agentic AI offering, Zoom Virtual Agent for Zoom Customer Experience.
Agentic. I know we do AI. I love
Yep.
AI. We've talked about AI a lot in the show. Agentic AI. Please talk me through this a little
It's
bit.
a new word. If you haven't become familiar with this new buzzword,
We're gonna
AI.
need new bingo cards.
Yeah. Well, essentially, what we're delivering is a virtual agent that one can solve customer queries and customer challenges with very little human interaction.
So,
right,
web page still?
So no, actually, just both voice and chat.
What?
Yep.
So we got a voice bot.
We do have a voice bot. Yes. Very
Well,
exciting times.
What can a voice bot do that the web client couldn't? Obviously, we can talk to it.
Yep.
What is...
The first one.
Yes. How do we actually set this up and go through the process of implementing a voice bot, and how is it like radically changed from just a web utility?
Well, yeah, no, obviously, of course, you can call into a Zoom Contact Center IVR, or Zoom Contact Center flow, right? And then interact with the virtual agent. So, you're not restricted to just using chat or SMS. You can actually, place a voice call and start, interacting with it. But I think the cool thing about it is, when you're building it, coming from a professional services background, right, where I used to have to do a lot of coding.
Yeah.
When we build Zoom Virtual Agent, we just tell it instructions in a few sentences, in a few words. What do you want this virtual agent to be able to do? And you just describe it, and it'll go do it.
So now that's a pretty big shift from our previous ZVA, right? Zoom Virtual Agent, web chat based, where the user would type some things, but we did intent management, knowledge bases. We did a lot of stuff in the background to match and kind of make the magic happen.
Yep.
So it sounds like the agentic part, agentic?
As you want to
It sounds like that agentic part really is even making some of the back end automation, right? It's doing thinking even for that side of it.
Yep.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's the goal, right? To be able to deliver a solution that not only can think like a human, right? But also has memory and reasoning as well.
So is your goal that by being one of the first people to work with this, that when the robots take over, that they will see you as a favored human and therefore spare you as possibly one of their conscripts?
Hopefully an ally, not a foe.
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
So in the 1.0 to 2.0 transition, is there a licensing pricing difference as we go from web to voice?
So yes, so they will be two different SKUs or two different products.
Okay.
Okay, when you're thinking about chat versus voice.
Yep.
However, for those customers that had our first iteration of Zoom Virtual Agent for chat, they can leverage the same license or the same SKU. So if you want to take advantage of those agentic features that we just introduced on your traditional Zoom Virtual Agent for chat, all you have to do is open a Zoom ticket, and we'll get that enabled on your account.
Well, he did pretty well off the cuff for just finding a guy on the street.
It feels far less ambushy and far more just conversational.
I thought it was very prepared.
I was literally walking down the hallway.
All right, we'll let you get back to it. Thanks,
All right.
JP.
Yep.
See ya.
Thank you, JP.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, John, I loved being in person, getting to do a lot of cool stuff while we were there in person, but it is nice to be back on my correct side.
Yeah, it was awkward. You're over here
Like,
right now, but
and,
before you were
but
over there. It was there was a lot of swivel chair motion going on there. It was confusing for me. Hopefully the viewers made it through. In fact, most of the viewers are actually just listeners because this is a podcast.
it's true. It's true.
A
Although it
face
can
for
be,
radio and a voice for print.
yes, so true.
That is your
But you know,
between two
you say
phones,
that, but we
guys.
do actually post these episodes now on Zoom clips, which is really cool. So you have the option. Of course, you can get it through all the traditional methods, Spotify, YouTube, and all those things. But you can also view us right inside of Zoom Clips, where I think we're even collecting a whole playlist of all of our episodes.
We do. And the other thing, I said a face for radio and a voice for print. The cool thing about clips is you can watch it, you can listen to it, or you can read it, because the transcription that we have on there not only provides you subtitles, but also provides you with a summary of what we say, which sometimes the summary is better than what we're actually talking about.
Absolutely. And it chapterizes it. So
It does
the ability
chapterize it.
Yes, I absolutely
go
love this feature.
Right
Love
to the
the
spot
chapter.
right to the spot that you want to listen to, and some
Zero it
interesting
in.
features that we got a chance to talk with our fearless leader of our
Fearless.
team, Mr. Shaun Olson. We got to talk to him while we were in Seattle. One of the things that we talked about was those subtitles and how they have changed. So if you haven't seen this yet, listen to this next segment. It'll blow your mind.
John, once again, it's unfortunate. We had booked time today.
Yeah, just time for one more guest, and we have none other than Shaun Olson with us. Sorry, Raven. But
Next time, I swear.
every single time. And one of the things near and dear to you, as I understand it, is accessibility.
It is.
And how do you say accessibility?
Gonna make fun of me, but accessibility.
Oh, accessibility.
Accessibility.
However,
Accessibility. I don't know. So, interestingly, we actually have our executive ERG sponsor for the disability ERG here at Zoom with us.
yes, sir.
Because there's a lot more people that actually have disabilities that you wouldn't even know. For instance, both Shaun and I have a hearing disability. We both wear hearing aids. I've talked about it a few times. And so as it's interesting that we walk through life and we have challenges that many times aren't realized, but Zoom works pretty hard to make things more accessible. I think it is accessibility.
Okay. What is the
access or assess?
Yeah, you're trying to access more things, so I guess it would be accessibility.
There's two C's,
Yeah, access.
not two S's.
So in Michigan, we don't say all the words and syllables in the right order. But yes. So we're going to be talking about
Accessibility.
accessibility.
I'm glad we got that figured out here in the first 2 minutes. So,
How long's this podcast?
so what does that mean? All of what Eric said, what does that amount to as part of not only here at responsibly at Zoom, but also for looking at the product that we offer as well, and the scope of how we provide accessibility to our customers?
Yeah, it's a great question. Eric referenced the fact that I'm part of our accessibility ERG here at Zoom. And it's interesting to me because people tend to think about accessibility, they think about, especially here in America, the ADA Act, and it's primarily about physical disabilities, right? And physical disabilities are usually noticeable to others, and so accommodations are kind of natural, right? We need to build a ramp in case you need wheels, that sort of thing. When it starts to come to our senses and when it starts to come to neurodiversity, things going on in people's brains, it's less obvious, can be less obvious. So Zoom, it's a very visual platform, a very auditory platform. So things that we're doing inside the client, a lot of them you would just think are natural. And of course we check those boxes. Dark mode, for example. A lot of people don't like a regular background. They want to turn on dark mode. Our laptops support it. Of course, Zoom supports it as well, on a phone, on your laptop, wherever you're using the client. One feature that I kind of want to call out, because we just made a massive enhancement to it,
I know what you're talking about, and I love it.
closed captions.
Oh, big 6.4.10. Get that release.
It's a lot better. It's we've completely removed it out of the video frame and down below.
But also detachable.
You can detach it.
So you can move it anywhere on any of your screens and continue to read what's going on. You can change the background color so it's no longer you can have it blue, white, black, red. I think a turquoise is in there or something. So that's even the background color of the captions is now in a more easily ingestible format. I absolutely love it.
More than the ability to change the color of the font of the closed caption, for me, get a little older, gonna increase the size of the font.
I got to ask this because they're right here, so I can ask this. What font size are you now up to? I'm up to like 15. Like normal people are 12. My wife's dad fully admitted he's at 18. Ooh. Do you know your font size that you're up to yet?
No, I just go till it feels good.
Okay. You're probably about a 15, 16.
I'm fighting it hard, man. I'm still fighting it.
It's a 1.25 reader, so...
Oh, 2.5. Okay, so you're probably asking me. I'm at a 1.75 reader.
More important on my phone than on my laptop. However, I think that's really cool. If you haven't tried that, I definitely recommend get the new version. How do you update the client?
Well, if you're on an MSI load, you would go up to the top, like so. If your company loaded on your laptop for you, machine for you, you're going to go up to your profile button. You're going to drop it down. You're going to see a little thing that says "Check for updates." Super easy, and it just updates for you. Now, if you download it yourself or some other ways, you may not see that little option for "Check for updates." Well, that's all right too, because you just go to zoom.us or go to a Google search and type in downloads, Zoom downloads. Look for the latest release, download it, install it, it'll update it. And there you go.
There you go.
We're up to 6.4.13 as of this recording, I believe. Really, really cool feature.
Time is an irrelevant object in the podcast world, so really, whenever you view this, just go check for updates would be my suggestion for you.
But play with that feature. There's other cool things that may not be accessibility related as it relates to closed captions, because you can do live translations.
Yes, live transcription, even in a phone call, kind of tying it back to accessibility, live transcription during a phone call, which we're also allowing for Ask Questions from AI Companion, allows me to verify words I think I heard.
Yeah, and you can enable this in your Zoom phone account today. It's a little bit more off the beaten path than how easy it is in meetings. You do have to go enable it on the Zoom phone side. You do have to enable it during the call that you're on as well. You can automatically enable it for the call, and you will see it over in your left side pane. And that's one of those ones that you may have to increase the text slider for, because by default it's relatively small over on the left side.
It's valuable real estate on that phone tab. You have a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
And so they try to be respectful of other things going on, and they kind of crunch that in a little bit. But you can adjust that.
Maybe we can get a feature request for moving it to a detachable pane at some point.
I love detachable pages.
Yeah.
Another cool thing in the captions, by the way, is it used to be kind of a scrolling text like you would see at the end of a movie, right? Where it just kind of just went up and it was just the word sentence after sentence. And now you actually see a profile picture, assuming that the participants in the meetings have a profile picture, but you'll see a profile picture indicating who said that line, that word. So now that even helps me associate, okay, I heard a similar tone, I can read the word, and now I have a picture to say, Shaun said that sentence, John said that sentence. And it's a small thing, like I don't think I very consciously associate that, but my mind still picks that up and it makes the association with those people that are talking the sentence, especially in fast conversations.
Since we're on about meetings and captions in meetings and how that can help you with your hearing, we by default do auto transcription, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so AI is listening, it's just transcribing what it hears into words, and it does a really good job. I have to say Zoom does a really, really good job at that. However, if you're hosting something a little bit more formal, you have two other options. You could actually enable somebody to live transcribe, so you have a human doing the transcription instead of our AI. Or you could even turn it on so you could live stream American Sign Language. That was not American Sign
Yes.
Language.
I'm
not sure what you just gestured.
I don't know.
I hope nothing bad. But
Yeah,
I was just moving my
enable,
hand.
You can enable this for a translator to basically sit on the call with you
Yes.
and live sign alongside the speaker for
Correct.
that session.
And it was the same mechanism that we employed for live translation of audio of spoken language. The difference is that now they incorporate the small bubble in the bottom corner of the screen for people that enable sign language. So similar to if I came in and I was a Spanish speaker and I joined the What's New Tonight, or our update What's New at Zoom edition.
Partner edition.
Partner edition, if I was a Spanish speaker, I would select Spanish as my language. I would hear in Spanish. Now with American Sign, if I was audio challenged to a point where I couldn't hear, I could see that American Sign Language right in the corner. It's great feature.
very true.
That's all we have time for. Shaun, thank you so much for joining us to talk about accessibility. Really appreciate it. Once again, sorry, Raven. We'll get you next time.
Next time for sure.
Well, we're back, and also back on the correct side again. That was okay. I don't mind it. I like, it's new and different, but, okay, let's get back to what's comfortable. Which, you're over there, I'm here, we're all good. But we got to spend a lot of cool time in Seattle together talking about plans for coming future. But
We were.
something else that we're doing on a regular basis now, John, is our Roundup series.
Yeah, the release roundup. If you haven't checked that out yet, you are really missing out. This is a good way to review everything that's taking place within the Zoom platform. This could be all products, not specific to any one product within the platform. And this is done typically, we're doing this on a monthly release cycle basis. When those releases are actually released, we put it here on this channel. So make sure that you check back to see what's new and exciting. We will be posting the July
Hit all the
one very
buttons,
shortly.
the subscribes, the likes, hit a comment, engage with all the different mechanisms, and let us know what you think. The release roundup is a really cool way to stay up to date. We go through it pretty fast because it's a lot of information, but there's some real gems in there that you get to learn about the different Zoom.
Yeah, and initially we put that at the trailing end of our last podcast. I think in the future we're just going to release that as an a la carte type of product here, so you just see it by itself. That way, it's not, our podcasts don't become too long.
It's a
time-consuming.
periodical, as they used to call it,
It
back
is.
in the day.
We're dripping the information out. So stay tuned for that. It'll be out here in the next couple weeks. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time on Between Two Phones.